Hello there, my friend. Can't sleep? You're not the only one. So tonight we're going to talk about dinosaurs. Not the exciting kind. No roars, no chases, no dramatic tail whips. Just facts, real ones. 100 of them. About animals that lived a long time ago, minded their own business, and then went extinct. Before we start, leave a comment below. Tell us what time it is where you are and where you're listening from. It's always nice to know who's out there. All right, let's slow things down. Let's get comfortable and let's begin with fact number 1. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for around 165 million years. To put that in perspective, modern humans have only existed for about 0.2% of that time. So, yes, dinosaurs were here for a while, long before us, and then they got blindsided by a huge space rocket. 2. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard in the ancient Greek language, which is ironic because they weren't lizards and not all of them were terrible, just unlucky. 3. Tyrannosaurus rex had teeth up to 12 inches long. That's the length of a subway foot long, except jagged and not available toasted. It could crush bone with over 12,000 pounds of bite force. But no one talks about that. Everyone just focuses on the tiny arms. 4. Stegosaurus had 17 back plates, 4 tail spikes, and a brain the size of a walnut. Its whole defense strategy was hope no one asked me a riddle. Still managed to last millions of years, so maybe brains aren't everything. 5. Velociraptors were about the size of a turkey, with feathers and claws and a permanent I woke up angry vibe. Hollywood made them huge, but real ones could ruin your day at knee height. 6. About 75% of all known dinosaur species lived during the late Cretaceous, which means most of them showed up just in time to go extinct. Talk about bad timing. 7. Many dinosaurs had feathers. Not sleek bird-like ones, more like half-finished insulation. They didn't fly, they didn't glide, they just looked itchy. 8. Triceratops had 3 horns, a massive frill, and weighed as much as an SUV, and it was a vegetarian. Imagine minding your business and eating salad while carrying the headgear of a medieval warhorse. That was its whole vibe. 9. Pterosaurs weren't technically dinosaurs, but they flew, had hollow bones, and some had wingspans over 30 feet. They were basically prehistoric flying nightmares. That got invited to the dinosaur party anyway. 10. The asteroid that ended it all hit Earth at about 45,000 miles per hour. It released more energy than 1 billion nuclear bombs. That's how you end a dynasty, not with a bang, but with a flaming skyrock and a very long winter. 11. The average dinosaur lived somewhere between 1 and 10 million years as a species. Compare that to modern humans, who've been around for less than 0.3 million years and already invented email stress. Dinosaurs didn't need productivity tools. They just wandered around, ate things, and occasionally became fossils. 12. Pachycephalosaurus had a skull dome up to 10 inches thick. People used to think they head-butted each other. Now, some scientists believe they might have just stood around awkwardly with heavy heads. A lot of science is just realizing ancient animals were weird, but also kind of relatable. 13. There's an actual dinosaur named Micropachycephalosaurus. It means tiny, thick-headed lizard. Yes, it's real. Yes, someone chose that on purpose. And yes, it probably still got made fun of by the other fossils. 14. Some sauropods had necks longer than 30 feet. No one's entirely sure how they held them up. Ligaments, air sacs, dinosaur yoga, whatever the answer. They basically spent their lives slowly walking toward trees and then eating them from the top down. 15. Ankylosaurs were basically armored tanks with tails that doubled as clubs. They had bones in their skin. Their entire body said, "Please do not," and predators usually listened. 16. Some dinosaurs had as many as 1,000 teeth, like Hadrosaurus, the original overachieving herbivore. It didn't bite, it ground silently, endlessly. It was evolution's version of a salad shredder. 17. Spinosaurus may have been the largest carnivorous dinosaur, even bigger than T-Rex. It had a sail on its back, claws like steak knives, and possibly lived part-time in water. Basically a 50-foot-long swamp monster. Just one more reason to stay out of rivers. 18. Most dinosaur fossils aren't bones. They're rock. Minerals slowly replace the organic material over millions of years. So when you see a fossil, you're looking at something that used to be alive and is now very patiently pretending to be. 19. The Chicxulub asteroid left a crater over 90 miles wide. That's roughly the size of Rhode Island. Except instead of bad roads and coffee milk, it came with worldwide firestorms, toxic rain and darkness. Nature's version of unsubscribe all year. 20. The closest living relatives of dinosaurs are birds, which means every time you get pooped on by a pigeon, you're technically being insulted by a distant cousin of T-Rex. Evolution's funny like that. 21. Most dinosaurs didn't roar. They likely made low rumbles, coos, or hissed like angry radiators. So if you ever time travel back to the Mesozoic, don't expect a symphony, expect awkward silence and the occasional prehistoric honk. 22. The average dinosaur egg was about the size of a grapefruit, even the massive ones, which means most of those 30-ton giants started out smaller than a loaf of bread. Proof that big things can have humble beginnings and still end up extinct. 23. Some dinosaurs had beaks, no teeth, just hard, bony smiles. They looked like they were always judging you. And statistically, they probably were. 24. Fossilized dinosaur skin impressions have been found. They weren't slimy or scaly like a horror movie. Many had pebbly, textured skin, more like a basketball, with attitude. 25. The Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs, lasted about 186 million years. Divided into three parts: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. Jurassic gets all the attention, but Cretaceous had most of the stars, like T-Rex, Triceratops, and worldwide extinction. 26. Oviraptors were once thought to steal eggs. Turns out they were probably guarding their own. So paleontology's been out here accusing good parents for decades. The apology is pending. 27. The fossil record is incomplete. Like a library where 90% of the pages are missing, scientists are basically trying to rewrite ancient history with a handful of receipts and a strong imagination. 28. Some dinosaur footprints have been preserved for over 100 million years. They're called trace fossils, not glamorous, but very committed to the idea of leave your mark. 29. Dinosaurs didn't all live at the same time. Stegosaurus and T-Rex were separated by about 80 million years, so if they ever met in a movie, it's a lie, but an entertaining one. 30. Some fossils have been found with preserved stomach contents. Yes, scientists have dug through dinosaur last meals, so far fish bones, plants, and in one case another dinosaur, because science is nothing if not thorough. 31. Most dinosaurs didn't drag their tails. Their tails were stiff, muscular, and held off the ground for balance. So all those old museum skeletons with tail tracks, basically historical slander. 32. There's fossil evidence of dinosaurs with cancer, tumours, bone disease, even arthritis. So yes, Millions of years ago, some dinosaur limped across a fern-covered valley with the prehistoric version of a sore knee. 33. The dinosaurs were giant herbivores with massive claws. Picture a sloth with scythes for fingers. They looked like they were designed by accident and then made someone else's problem. 34. Ceratopsians, like Triceratops, came in dozens of weird varieties. Some had frills with holes in them, some had extra horns pointing the wrong direction. It's like evolution tried every version of helmet before giving up entirely. 35. Most dinosaurs had excellent eyesight, better than ours. Some could see in color, so the next time you imagine a T-Rex chasing something, know that it probably saw the terror in full HD. 36. Not all dinosaurs were huge, some were the size of pigeons, and just as annoying. If anything, extinction was a kindness to the small, screechy ones. 37. Dinosaur fossils have been found on every continent, even Antarctica, which means, yes, at some point something with claws waddled through snow, realized it was cold and died. 38. Many dinosaurs didn't live long lives. Some only made it a few years. Being massive didn't guarantee anything, especially when the world was full of claws, teeth, and very little empathy. 39. Some fossils are found in what's called a death pose. Head bent back, tail curled, limbs tight. It's caused by muscle contractions after death, or as science calls it, final dramatic flare. 40. Scientists once mistook an iguanodon thumb spike for a nose horn. They reconstructed the whole dinosaur with a spike sticking out of its face. And that mistake lived in textbooks for decades, because even extinction doesn't stop bad diagrams. 41. Dinosaurs laid eggs in nests. Some sat on them, others buried them, and a few just walked away. Parenting, it turns out, has always been a mixed bag. 42. Some dinosaur bones were so big, early discoverers thought they belonged to giants, or dragons, or anything but extinct reptiles. Science had a rough start, so did accuracy. 43. We don't know what colour most dinosaurs were. For all we know, T-Rex could have been pale pink, or had spots, or wore nature's version of high-visibility safety gear. Extinction saves a lot of embarrassment. 44. A dinosaur tail could make up half its body length. It wasn't for style, it was a counterbalance. Because when your head is full of teeth, you need something to stop you from face-planting into history. 45. Some fossils are found in bone beds, mass graves of dinosaurs that died together. It's unclear if they lived as a herd or just happened to die in the same unlucky place. Group project energy either way. 46. Dinosaurs lived through 3 different geological periods, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, and none of them had Wi-Fi. They still lasted 165 million years, so maybe it wasn't that bad. 47. The fossilization process can take thousands to millions of years, and still someone will break it in 5 minutes during a museum setup. 48. Some fossils are found with preserved skin, feathers, or internal organs, which means 1 minute you're dying in a swamp, and the next you're part of a high school science field trip. Immortality has a sense of humor. 49. The name Irritator belongs to a real dinosaur, named after how annoyed the scientists were when they found the fossil had been altered by fossil smugglers. Yes, paleontology has petty moments. 50. Even with thousands of fossils, we've only scratched the surface. The vast majority of dinosaurs that lived left no trace. They came, they saw, they decomposed quietly. 51. Dinosaur fossils are sometimes found in ancient riverbeds, which means even millions of years ago someone was probably just trying to get a drink and didn't quite make it. 52. Camarasaurus had nostrils on top of its head. Why? No one knows. Possibly for breathing while buried in ferns, or just bad design. 53. Some dinosaurs had hollow bones. It made them lighter, faster, and unfortunately easier to crush. 54. The average dinosaur probably lived around 20-30 years, unless something larger, faster, or meaner showed up, which was often. 55. Scientists have found fossilized dinosaur footprints mid-run. You can actually see the stride and speed, which means something was either chasing it or being chased. Either way, it didn't work out. 56. No one knows what a dinosaur's tongue looked like. Could have been long and snake-like, or short and awkward. Just imagine going extinct and people still debating your mouth. 57. Dinosaurs never saw snow. Most lived in warm tropical climates, so at least they went extinct without ever having to shovel anything. 58. Some fossils are discovered in quarries, while others are found in cliffs, deserts, or by total accident in someone's backyard, because nothing says, "Welcome to the neighborhood," like digging up 70 million years of disappointment. 59. Paleontologists use tiny brushes and dental picks to clean fossils. It's delicate work, hours of effort for every inch, like extreme archaeology, but slower. 60. Some fossil beds are so rich you can find bones just lying on the surface. Others require digging for years. It's basically prehistoric roulette. Except the prize is a rock shaped like a toe. 61. Not all dinosaurs had scales or feathers. Some had both, some had neither. Some may have just been weirdly smooth. Paleontology is full of educated guesses and mild discomfort. 62. There's fossil evidence of dinosaurs getting stuck in mud. Full skeletons, frozen mid-sink. Proof that being massive, majestic and powerful still doesn't save you from stepping in the wrong puddle. 63. Scientists use CT scans to look inside fossilized skulls, to see brain cavities, to map inner ears, and to figure out just how confused a Stegosaurus might have been all the time. 64. Some fossils are found with bite marks, not dramatic ones, just casual, half-hearted test bites, because apparently dinosaurs, like toddlers, liked to chew things to see what they were. 65. Dinosaur fossils sometimes turn up with broken bones, healed ones, so yes, something bit them, they survived, and then something else, well, you didn't let that happen again. 66. Cretaceous plants were mostly ferns, cycads and conifers. No grass, no fruit, just salad. Forever. 67. Some dinosaurs lived on islands. They were smaller versions of their mainland relatives. It's called insular dwarfism. Nature's gentle way of saying, you don't need to be that big here, calm down. 68. Dinosaur toes were often padded. Not claws on concrete like you hear in movies, more like thudding loafs of ancient foot meat, quiet, soft, unexpectedly polite. 69. Fossilized dinosaur dung is called coprolite. It's studied by real scientists in real labs with real microscopes. So if you're feeling lost in life, remember, someone out there is a poop expert and they have tenure. There's 70 other. Some dinosaurs outlived the asteroid. Birds, feathered, flight-capable survivors. So yes, technically dinosaurs are still around. They just wear less dramatic outfits now. 71. T-Rex had an excellent sense of smell. Its olfactory bulbs were huge, among the largest of any land animal ever. It could probably smell a carcass from miles away. So yes, it was big. Yes, it was deadly, but mostly it was nose first in other people's problems. 72. Some dinosaurs may have had primitive social behavior. Trackways suggest they moved in herds. Fossils have been found in groups. So it's possible they travelled together, protected their young, and got wiped out together, like the world's slowest caravan. 73. In the fossil world, skulls are rare. They're fragile, fall apart easily, and are often missing from otherwise perfect skeletons, which means most reconstructions are part fact, and part educated guess held together by artistic confidence and quiet panic. 74. Some dinosaurs had hollow crests on their heads, like the Parasaurolophus. These crests were probably used for making sounds, low, echoing calls, so yes, it had a built-in kazoo. And it may have called to friends using a skull trumpet, because the past had style. 75. Fossil hunters sometimes leave bones buried on purpose. If they're too fragile to move or too expensive to extract, they get documented, covered, and left behind. So somewhere out there, a 100-million-year-old toe bone is politely waiting for someone to care again. 76. Before the asteroid, there were warning signs. Volcanoes erupted, sea levels dropped, climate shifted, and the dinosaurs just kept doing what they were doing, which is strangely relatable. 77. Sauropod hearts had to pump blood all the way up those long necks, over 20 feet in some cases. That's a lot of pressure. Some scientists think they had massive multi-chambered hearts, or just really good blood pressure. Either way, their circulatory system deserved more credit. 78. Some fossilized dinosaur nests show eggs arranged in perfect circles, not tossed randomly, not dropped in piles, but carefully placed, like a ritual or instinct or prehistoric IKEA display. Parenting has always been weird. 79. The asteroid didn't kill everything. Crocodiles survived, so did turtles, so did sharks. Basically, if you were cold-blooded, water-adjacent, and unbothered, you made it. 80. Most dinosaurs were extinct long before humans existed, but that hasn't stopped us from putting them in cartoons, theme parks, cereal boxes, and movies. They've been extinct for 66 million years, and still get more attention than 90% of living species. Now that's staying power. 81. The T-Rex didn't live in the Jurassic period, it lived in the late Cretaceous, about 85 million years after Stegosaurus. So all those epic dinosaur battles in movies never happened. They were separated by more time than humans and woolly mammoths. It's prehistoric fan fiction. 82. Some dinosaurs had built-in armor, like Euoplocephalus, covered in bony plates and spikes. Its tail ended in a club heavy enough to shatter bones. It didn't move fast. It didn't need to. It just had to look like a tank made of sadness. 83. Fossils can take decades to be studied. Some sit in museum drawers for 50 years or more before anyone even opens the crate. So, while the dinosaur died quickly, its paperwork took a while. 84. Dinosaur fossils are rarely complete. Most skeletons you see in museums are about 40% original bone. The rest is replica, plaster, or very confident guesswork. But if it looks cool, no one complains. 85. The Deinonychus is the real raptor behind Jurassic Park's Velociraptor. It was big, fast, and had claws made for slicing, but Velociraptor sounded cooler, so Hollywood rebranded it. Extinction is forever, but marketing is flexible. 86. We found fossilized dinosaur footprints with skin impressions still visible. Toes, pads, even wrinkles, which means somewhere out there a dinosaur walked through the mud and accidentally made art. 87. Some ancient birds had teeth, not sharp ones, just little nubs in their beaks. It was nature's awkward transitional phase, half bird, half dinosaur. No dentist. 88. The bones of the smallest known dinosaur fit in the palm of your hand. It was bird-like, insect-eating, and weighed less than a slice of toast. Its name is hard to pronounce. Its legacy is, congratulations, you didn't take up much space. 89. You can tell a lot about a dinosaur by its hips, its teeth, and its feet, but not its personality. That's the part we always make up, and honestly, it's probably for the best. 90. If all the dinosaurs that ever lived stood in a single line, it would be impossible because they lived in different eras on different continents, and also they're dead. 91. A fossil is only considered a dinosaur if it lived on land. Marine reptiles like plesiosaurs, not dinosaurs. Flying reptiles like pterosaurs, also not dinosaurs. Just overachieving neighbours with good press. 92. Some dinosaur bones show signs of infection, swelling, abscesses, even bone cancer, which means at least one T-Rex died with a limp, a fever, and probably no sympathy. 93. Most dinosaurs couldn't chew, they just bit, crushed, and swallowed. No grinding, no savouring, just pure prehistoric efficiency. 94. The longest dinosaur name belongs to Micropachycephalosaurus. It means small, thick-headed lizard. And yes, that's a real name. And yes, someone got paid to invent it. 95. Some fossils are found completely curled up, arms tucked in, tail wrapped around. The prehistoric version of, I don't want to be perceived right now. 96. You can buy fossils online, ethically sourced or questionably not. Because if there's one thing humans love more than ancient history, it's hoarding pieces of it in their living room. 97. Many dinosaurs had hollow bones. That helped them move faster. It also helped them break faster. Survival was a gamble, with very loud footsteps. 98. The asteroid that ended it all created a global winter. No sunlight, no plants, no food. It wasn't just a single moment, it was a slow, freezing silence, the kind extinction loves most. 99. If a meteor hadn't hit Earth, dinosaurs might still be here, and we probably wouldn't. So really, you owe your entire existence to bad aim and atmospheric chaos. 100. Dinosaurs didn't know they were going extinct. They just went on until they couldn't. No speeches, no meteor tweets, just one quiet day that never turned into the next. Well, look at you. You made it this far. That's impressive. Or concerning, surprise, there's more, because clearly sleep isn't happening. So here's another batch of dinosaur facts you never asked for, but apparently need. Let's continue. Quietly, inevitably. 101, and the fossilized thigh bone of a sauroposeidon was over 6 feet tall. That's taller than the average human, and it was just one bone. So if you've ever felt small, you were correct. 102. Some dinosaur species are named after where they were found, like Utah raptor or Albertosaurus, which means if you discover one, you too could become immortal, as a cautionary tale for how not to name things. 103. Dinosaur bones weren't white when they died, they were just bones. The white comes from fossilization. So everything you've ever seen in a museum, it's nature's version of color correction. 104, but we don't know how most dinosaurs slept. Curled up, flat on their sides, standing, in trees. The fossil record doesn't include mattress preferences, so we guess a lot. 105. Some dinosaurs might have had cheeks. It's debated, but if true, it means they could puff them out, store food, and probably look annoyed, just like modern herbivores do. 106. Fossilized burrows have been found. Not nests, not dens, actual underground tunnels. Which means, yes, some dinosaurs might have been introverts just hiding until it all stopped. 107. The average fossil takes about 10,000 years just to begin forming, so if you're thinking about legacy, this is the long game, very long. Extremely sedimentary, 108. Some fossils show signs of scavenging, bite marks on already dead bones, which means even 100 million years ago someone's leftovers was someone else's dinner, just like now. 109. There are more undiscovered dinosaur species than discovered ones by a lot, so while extinction is forever, mystery gets better PR. 110. Some dinosaurs swallowed rocks, gastroliths. They used them to grind food in their stomachs. Evolution gave them claws, teeth, and speed, and they still needed gravel to finish dinner. 111. The Coelophysis fossil beds contain dozens of individuals, all piled together. Some think it was a flood, others say it was a social gathering gone very, very wrong. Either way, it was their last RSVP. 112. The fossil of a Protoceratops locked in combat with a velociraptor was found in Mongolia. They died mid-fight, frozen in time, claws in neck, jaws in face, which is one way to make sure your feud never ends. 113. Some fossils were once mistaken for mythological creatures. Dragons in China, giants in Europe. Turns out legends are just science waiting for someone to show up with a chisel. 114. Psittacosaurus had bristles on its tail, not feathers, not spikes. Just weird, hair-like bristles that served no obvious purpose, like prehistoric static cling. 115. The Earth's continents were connected during much of the dinosaur era, which means dinosaurs could migrate across what would eventually become arguments about borders and flight delays. 116. A dinosaur once stepped in its own fossilized footprint, millions of years apart, in the same rock layer, because even prehistory has repeat behavior. 117. Scientists have found evidence of soft tissue in some fossils, blood vessels, proteins, tiny remnants of what used to be alive, proof that even after 66 million years, some things refuse to fully let go. 118. Dinosaur fossils have been used in traditional medicine, ground up and mixed into tonics because apparently extinction wasn't humiliating enough. 119. Mononychus had arms so short they made T-Rex look flexible. Each had one claw, just one. It was like evolution gave up halfway through the design. 120. A lot of dinosaurs had no natural predators, not because they were invincible, but because they were too big, too heavy, or too much work to chew. Sometimes survival is just being inconvenient. 121. Some dinosaur fossils were discovered thanks to erosion. Rain, wind, time, nature, slowly revealing bones and like peeling back a secret that no one asked for. 122. The Gallimimus had long legs and a beak, but no teeth. It ran fast, ate plants and bugs, and minded its business. Basically, the prehistoric version of "don't talk to me before breakfast." 123. Therizinosaurus had claws over 3 feet long. They weren't for hunting, they were probably for display. So it was giant, feathered, and looked like a nightmare hand model. 124. Some fossil beds show evidence of drought, cracked earth, dead herds, no escape, because sometimes extinction doesn't fall from the sky, it just forgets to rain. 125. The first dinosaur ever named was Megalosaurus. It happened in 1824, which means people have been arguing about dinosaur facts for over 200 years with no end in sight. 126. Some dinosaurs had stiff tails that acted like rudders. They didn't just help with balance, they helped steer, because being big isn't useful if you can't make left turns. 127, but not all dinosaur extinction happened overnight. Some species may have lingered, fading slowly, generation by generation, the slow version of the end. 128. We've never found a fully fossilized dinosaur eye. We know the size, maybe the placement, but the gaze, that part is still missing. 129. The Sahara Desert used to be a dinosaur hotspot, lush, wet, teeming with life. Now it's a dry sea of dust, the hiding memories in layers of sand. 130. Some dinosaur fossils are found next to fossilized plants, as if they died right next to dinner, which, depending on the cause of death, is either tragic or convenient. 131. Many dinosaurs had color vision. Some even saw more wavelengths than humans, which means they probably saw each other in ways we'll never fully understand, and still got hit by a rock. 132. Some fossilized footprints are over 3 feet long, which means someone once stepped there, and the planet just remembered. For 100 million years. No pressure. 133. The Carnotaurus had tiny arms, smaller than T-Rex, so small they probably couldn't even touch its own chest. It was fast, fierce, and completely incapable of hugs. 134. Some dinosaurs outgrew their predators. They weren't faster or smarter, just bigger, which proves that in some ecosystems the best survival strategy is simply no thanks. 135. Dinosaur skin impressions have shown pebbled textures like leather or worn vinyl, which means at least some of them look like extremely judgmental handbags. 136. Wow. The Maiasaura was named Good Mother Lizard because its fossils were found with nests, eggs, and hatchlings. Finally, a dinosaur that wasn't terrifying, just tired. 137. Some fossils preserve soft tissues like cartilage. Not glamorous, but essential. You don't think about cartilage much until it's all that's left of you. 138. Some dinosaur species are known from just one bone, a tooth, a toe, a bit of jaw, and from that an entire animal is reconstructed or invented. 139. The tallest known dinosaur was likely Sauroposeidon, up to 60 feet tall. That's 6 stories of neck, powered entirely by plants. 140. We're still naming new dinosaurs every year, roughly 50 new species annually, because extinction is forever, but paperwork is eternal. 141. The Pachyrhinosaurus didn't have horns. It had bony lumps instead, thick, rough, vaguely disappointing, like evolution ran out of ideas and just slapped on a forehead. 142. Fossils are found in layers of rock called strata. The deeper the layer, the older the bones, which means time isn't counted in seconds here. It's stacked. 143. Some dinosaur fossils have been found with tumours, bone cancer, arthritis, infections. Extinction didn't pick favourites. Even the mighty had bad days. 144. Some hatchlings were born with tiny teeth they never used. They fell out shortly after birth. Evolution's version of a baby gift. brief, sharp, and unnecessary. 145. The ornithomimus looked like a bird, ran like a sprinter, and had hands that couldn't hold anything. It was fast, it was weird, it was probably very confused. 146. Fossils form best when something dies in the right place at the right time and gets buried fast, which means for every fossil we found, millions didn't get the chance. 147. Scientists can sometimes tell what killed a dinosaur: a bite, a break, a sudden silent collapse under volcanic ash. Other times they just guess. And nobody argues because the dinosaur's not talking. 148. The asteroid impact site is called the Chicxulub crater. It's buried beneath the Yucatan Peninsula, a scar the size of a country hidden under a jungle, just sitting there, quietly owning history. 149. Somewhere in the world, right now, a child is digging in the dirt and dreaming of dinosaurs, which means extinction isn't the end, just quieter. 150. And finally, no dinosaur ever knew it was a dinosaur. It didn't think about extinction or legacy or the fossil record. It just lived until it didn't, which honestly sounds kind of peaceful. And that's it. 150 facts. Quiet, factual, mostly unnecessary. If you're still awake, that's surprising, but welcome. If you're asleep, even better. That was the goal. Thanks for being here. If this helped you drift, tap the like button. Maybe subscribe. Let us know in the comments what time it is where you are and how far you made it before boredom did its job. Until next time, sleep well, stay extinct.